The new installment of the Final Destination franchise has finally arrived almost 14 years after the last one, and I think it's fair to say we missed these films. I am a fan of this franchise, I really like them all, except number 4, which doesn't really do much to me. In fact, I actually checked them all out this week. I'd seen the first and second before, but not the third, fourth or fifth, so I thought, gotta check them out now that the new one's coming out. Well, I'll say I saw them all in one day. I rewatched the second one, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth. That was all on the Thursday. And then the next day, I went to a double screening of the original Final Destination and Bloodlines, which was really, really cool. Oh yeah, I also vlogged this. So if you want to check that out, keep your eyes peeled for Sunday, Monday, just to see how that Final Destination marathon went down. But yeah, I think all of these films are so enjoyable that even if they are bad, I don't actually think many of them are bad, except really 4 didn't really do much for me. But you can have so much fun with them. They're so inventive with all of their kills. I don't really know how they think of this shit a lot of the time. And Bloodlines definitely follows suit here. As always, this is a spoiler-free review. If any of my reviews do have spoilers in them, I will let you know. And if you've been brainwashed by the MCU and expecting a post-credit scene after every film, like myself, I'm victim of this now. There is no end credit scene to Bloodlines, so you can leave pretty much straight away. Final Destination Bloodlines follows Stephanie, who is rattled by a constant recurring nightmare. To find out some answers, she returns home from college and finds someone who tells her how to break the cycle death has laid out for her and her family to try and save them. Premise alone, this is already a little different from the others. It follows the same lore with the Premonitions, but it's done very differently in the fact that this is passed down generations. That's all I'm really going to say about that, because if I say more, I will spoil stuff. But it's something which is briefly explored in Final Destination 2, which they expand a little bit more on here. There's also something from Final Destination 5, which they also look at a little more. Again, not going to say, but I liked that they did that. I liked that it was a little different with how they did stuff here. After watching the same premise pretty much 5 times over and over for the past 2 days, although very enjoyable, it was good to have this difference. There are a lot of references to the others as well, so if you're able to notice them, they're a really nice touch. Something to expect going into a Final Destination film is the big opening scene, or the Premonition scene, I think it's called now. Final Destination 1 had the Flight 108 plane explosion, 2 had the car crash on the highway with the tree logs, 3 was the malfunctioning roller coaster, 4 was the race car crash at the racing event, and 5 was the scene where the bridge was collapsing. All of these are really great scenes. They really set you up for the film you're about to watch. And the one in Bloodlines is great. I'm not going to say anything about what actually happened. Again, don't want to reveal that because it's such a good scene. I don't want to give you any spoilers for that one. But it's up there with the airplane scene from the first. My eyes were completely locked to the screen. I was so unsure about how things were going to play out. When stuff did start to happen, I felt really tense, which I hadn't felt for the past 2 Premonition scenes. I still like them. I like all of the Premonition scenes, but this is why the other opening scenes in 1, 2, 3, and now Bloodlines are so good. Speaking of stuff happening, the kills were great. I said in the intro that the Final Destination films always do a great job in keeping things inventive and new, and they definitely did that here. They go back to their gruesome best here. There's a lot of blood going places and spurting out everywhere, seeing people's insides after they've gone through something brutal, and I'd argue that it might be the most gruesome of them all. So if you like all that stuff, you're gonna love this bit. I really enjoyed all the characters in this, to be fair. I always do, except for. And it was great to see Tony Todd back as William Bloodworth. They feel more like Final Destination films when he's in there, so it was so good to see him back. And we even get to explore Bloodworth's character a lot more, even his past, which was really interesting to see. And speaking of the characters, this film might just be the funniest of the franchise. Humor isn't something that I felt that they really dove into too often. They did try it more in this one, and I really enjoyed that. It's mainly done through Eric and Bobby, who are Stephanie's cousins. They for sure made the most remarks. And it did have my screening and myself laughing quite a bit. I really enjoyed this one, and that's the thing with Final Destination films. They are so fun. I don't know why it took 11 years to get this one, and I really hope it doesn't take too long for the 7th, if we're getting a 7th. Hopefully we are. Hopefully it's going to be a bit like Scream, where once the 5th came out, After 11 years, 11 years, we get a 6th and a 7th pretty soon. Just none of this casting issue malarkey. But to be fair, there's barely any characters that return in this franchise anyway, so hopefully that's not really an issue. So I give Final Destination Bloodlines 3.5 stars. Now I just want to put it out there. 3.5 stars for me is a good thing. It means I think it's a good film. 4 stars is great. 4.5 is great, just not at the level of 5. It's not hit that amazingness yet. And 5 stars is just absolutely amazing. Masterpiece contender. I sort of have my like little rankings just to see like what actually would be a masterpiece. Do you know what I mean? If it helps, I rated Final Destination 1, 2, 3, a 3.5 as well. All of them, including Bloodlines, are a lot closer to a 4 than a 3. If you have seen Final Destination Bloodlines, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, I really hope you can enjoy this one. I think a lot of people will. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And I'll see you in the next.